Okay.
Good to have with us Susan Whisnant of the Whisnants. Susan, how are you?
Hey, I'm doing great. How are you, Robert?
I am doing good. How are you and the family in this COVID-19?
Oh, my word. Well, I think some people would say we're about to kill each other, but we're not. We're doing good. Me and Jeff have enjoyed being together, and Ethan's here, and Austin and Jordan live a mile down the road. They're enjoying it, getting ready for their first baby, and so we've got grandbaby coming. So we're doing good. It's been crazy. I can never say that I've not been on the bus in this long, and so this is the first for that. But hey, God's in control, and we just trust Him, right? That's
That's
all we can
right.
do.
And I'm assuming in
So,
this time of no singing that you're doing a little bit of everything around the house.
oh my word! The first week this happened, let's see. We painted the concrete. We stained both decks. We hung shutters. We did landscaping. Jeff did landscaping.
Wow.
Yeah, he's never done that. But anyway, it looks beautiful. But I think he was stir crazy, and so anything I asked, they were like, "Yes, you got to do it. Got to do it." So we've got a lot done. We've enjoyed family time. Robert, God does all things well, even though we don't understand it. He does all things well. And so He's got a reason for shutting us all down. I heard somebody say everything that could have been our God, whether it's sports or shopping or, whatever, it's been shut down. And so here we are. And, I pray that I come out of this different. I want to serve the Lord more than I've ever wanted to serve Him. And I miss singing. My car is probably about to scream because I'm singing in my car. But hey, it's all good. It's all good. I get to sing Saturday night for the first time, so I'm excited about that.
Well, good. And you have done some Facebook streaming a little bit?
We've done, when we first found out about the quarantine, Aaron came down before the Sunday. It was supposed to start on Monday. He came down and we did a Facebook Live concert. You can still go to Whisnants and look at that. It was really sweet. We did that in my home. And then me and Jeff and Ethan and Austin had to do we were challenged by the Irwins, and we did 2 songs there, and it's had almost 100,000 views. So that's pretty cool. We did a live Facebook gospel hymn sing in Indian Trail Baptist. We've done that. We did live at Trinity Baptist in Asheville, North Carolina. You can still go look at that. So yeah, we've done some stuff, just haven't actually sung in front of a crowd, and we missed that so bad. But God's got a reason. I want to come out of this different.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to come out of this the same, Robert. I want God to change my heart, and I think He's going to do that. I know He has already. So, what about you?
Well, my job is sports related, and there's no sports, so I have no job
Uh-oh.
currently.
Oh my! That's why you're wanting to call these artists and see somebody, huh?
That's right. Want to talk? Going stir
Yeah,
crazy.
I
Uh,
got you. I'm right there with you.
you mentioned the challenge with the Irwins. I spoke with Keith, as a matter of fact. I think it was last week. So,
Yeah.
what song did you do of the Irwins, and what Whisnant song did the Irwins do?
The Irwins, I watched them. They did about 6 or 7. Now they did say, in all fairness, they followed us way before they started singing as a family, and they did a project that had like 4 of our songs. I think Even in the Valley, New Day Dawning. They did Thank God for Grace. Good grief, I can't remember what all they did because I was sitting here going, surely you don't expect us to do all those. But the 2 that we did, and I'm telling you, it was right when Corona hit. I've been calling her Aunt Rona. I hate her, but I've been calling her that. We did If the Clouds Are the Dust of His Feet,
Oh,
which is an incredible song. And I told them on that video, I've heard them sing it, but it never spoke to me till I was listening and trying to learn it in my car. Great song. And then we did I Choose to Be a Christian, which both are great songs that are absolutely great for this time. So we did it. Go look at it. It's good. It's on the Whisnants page.
I'll have to check that out. You mentioned great songs. Obviously, the Whisnants over the years have sung a lot of great songs. How do you choose what songs you put on a project? And then how do you choose what songs you opt to sing out? Now, I know that probably to some
That's
degree what you sing out is based on, radio airplay because that's the
right.
songs that have drawn attention. But let's start with the project. How do you determine what ones to record?
Well, it used to be a lot harder because back when we were picking a Greater Yes Even in the Valley, New Day. I could go back. Thank God for Grace. All of those. We would go through 200 songs sometimes just to come up with our 10 or our 12. It's a little easier now just because those same writers know our heart. And when they find out we're looking for a project, they will say, hey, we've just written this one. It says what you love in a different way. And that's what we kind of, I like to sing songs about prayer, grace, all of that. You know that. But anyway, it's a little easier, but we are good friends with great writers that know our heart, know what we want to say. And they say it for us. And it's been wonderful. I've enjoyed and going back to what we stage, that is difficult because on every project where, as a DJ, we're going to pick probably 3 to 4 songs that we're going to release to radio. And those are the ones when you're sitting here still trying to sing New Day Dawning and Even in the Valley and songs that He's Never Moved, which was our last #1 song. You're trying to sing all of those in a concert. It's hard to bring new ones in because people want to hear what they've heard on the radio when they come to hear you sing. So we try to do that. But we usually will try to incorporate 2 or 3 new songs, and that's about the best we can do. It's tough.
How do you stage a 1 hour or an hour and a half concert when you've got all those songs that have been hit songs on radio, and then you've got you personally as a soloist material that is charted? You've got Ethan and Austin who have had success on the charts as well. So how do you squeeze that all into a night of the Whisnants?
Oh, well, usually we sing 4 or 5 songs, and then we bring Austin and Ethan up, and they do like that. I Will Glory in the Story that's doing the number 14 in the nation right now. They'll do that. They've been doing usually 1 or 2 of their older songs that have done well radio, and then they do a new one. So they usually do 3, maybe 4. And then on the second set, sometimes I'll sing I Prayed Through It, or, that did really well, or the song that I did with Karen Peck, The Father Knew, Karen Peck and Kim Hopper. I love that. I don't always get to do my solo stuff, but I try. But a Whisnant concert's interesting. I mean, we try to bring all of that in, and the best we can, the best we can.
Speaking of a Whisnant's concert, years ago, Jeff used to play the guitar, and he doesn't anymore. What changed that? What prompted the Whisnants to can the guitar?
Well, Austin now plays bass and acoustic. He doesn't play lead, but I think when John left and Jeff had to take, you remember the day when John was with us. You go back that far. John did all the talking. Jeff never opened his mouth, so he played the guitar and sung. That was it. Well, when John left, Jeff had to become the MC and the main voice until I opened my mouth, and then I become the main. That's but anyway, it just became too much for him to try and play the guitar. And back then, he was running tracks, playing the guitar, trying to talk, and it was just too much. So he let go of the guitar and just began singing and running tracks. And then, of course, we hired a piano player, which did the tracks. And so he just became, I don't know, actually he's talked about kind of coming back and doing some lead guitar stuff, but I don't know. He could do it. He's still a great guitar player. He hardly ever touches it, though. So, boy, you're reaching way back.
Oh, I can reach even further back if we need to.
I don't do it. Boy, I remember when we'd come up and sing with your family, and such good times in the Panhandle.
Indeed, we enjoyed it. As a matter of fact, I remember one of the first times. I think this was prior, maybe, to you going full time, or it was right about that era. And John had asked me about, putting some dates together, that y'all wanted to fill. And I had you 3 places on a Sunday. And I remember John at the end of the day, like, man, I'm not going to ask you to fill up my Sunday.
I could not imagine doing 3 dates at this point. Oh, in one day. But I mean, I'd probably do it, but I can't imagine. That was awful. But anyway, we would love to come back to your area. We miss being with y'all.
We're going to have y'all back in this area.
We would love to.
If we never get this coronavirus out of here.
Isn't that the truth?
Aaron.
It's a life changer. Yes, Aaron.
Yes, Aaron. He was added 13 years ago and has now become kind of like part of the family.
Aaron has become part of the family. I'm going to tell you, somebody just walked in my door. I think it's my son, Austin. I'm on a live radio TV thing. If you come in here, you'll be seen. Come on. Aaron, what was you asking me?
Uh, the addition of Aaron. I mean, he's the only non-Whisnant, but he's really kind of a Whisnant.
He's like family. Aaron has been here 20 years. It was 20 years in December.
Wow.
He now lives 3 hours away and married to Suzanne Taylor Heiss of the Taylors, which I love. That's one of my favorite groups. They have a beautiful baby girl that's 4 years old and are expecting in October their second child. And so Aaron has been here. He was Uncle Aaron to my boys. Now they are, they're just buddies. And it's really, we've only had 2 singers since John. So that speaks a lot of us. I think that people, it's surprising that they'll stay. They stay a long time. But anyway, he is like family. We haven't seen him but once or twice through this whole Corona thing. So, but he's doing well. Him and his wife both are doing well. He's a sweet family.
When he married a Taylor, which is also a singing family,
Yes.
I mean, was there this, hey, wait a minute, are you and she going to, become the Taylors and we're going to have to look elsewhere? Or were you like,
Well,
hey?
I'll say this. I've got 2 boys that can sing incredibly, and they're a part of this team. And Aaron knows all this. When he was dating Suzanne, I asked him about that. I was like, this is, the Lord does all things well. And here's the situation. Aaron and his family here, he's been here 20 years. He does have a wonderful wife that can sing like a songbird. She's got a heart for ministry. What the future holds, I have no idea. I know that if Aaron ever does sing with her, and I know it's scary thinking about anybody thinking about starting a new venture. I know right now it is Suzanne and her 2 brothers, but when God moves in that direction, God's already took care of us here. And so I'm excited for what the Lord will do in the future, and just to see how he works and if he keeps it the same. We may bring Ethan and Austin both up there to sing with us, and it be a mixed group. Who knows what we're going to do? But I hope to always have my boys with me, and they're a big part of this ministry, have been since 9 months before they were born. They love it, and it makes this mama's heart. I can't tell you how thankful and proud I am that they want to be a part of this ministry.
Is it the dream of Susan Whisnant that when Jeff and Susan decide to exit the stage, that the Whisnants continue to exist through your
Jeff and
children
I,
and through your grandchildren?
yes, Jeff and I talked about that this week, in fact. I mean, I'm going to be Connie and Claude Hopper. That's going to be Jeff and Susan Whisnant. As long as we can haul our carcass onto the bus, we're going to get on the bus. But I will say this. My boys, Austin and Ethan, have had radio success. Like I said, they've got a song right now at number 14 in the nation. Not only can they sing, and I'll cry if I talk about it, they have the respect of their peers, of our peers. I mean, our friends. I could go on and say Mark Trammell, Gerald Wolfe. I could go on and on. They love my boys. They respect them. They use them in the gospel hymn sing, and we do the tour with Mark Trammell. They love my boys. They know their heart. They know they love the Lord with all of their heart first. So with that being said, the foundation has been laid. I think the future of the Whisnants will continue. And that does this mama's heart good. I'm going to be a part of it as long as they'll let me. But Austin and Ethan, we got a little boy coming, Carter. And who knows what the future holds, but I can say this, it's wide open. It's wide open. And as long as God will allow us to do what we do, I want to continue doing it together. And, the Bible says if you delight yourself in him, he will give you the desires of your heart. And, maybe somebody out there's listening, and maybe you're weary, you're wounded, I'm not sure what direction you'll go, but I'm telling you from this mama's heart, I have made mistakes. I have failed miserably in some areas, but in my 2 boys, I didn't fail. And they love the Lord. They keep me on point. When I get discouraged, they encourage me. So I've delighted, and the Lord has given, and I see a long future for the Whisnants. Why'd you do that? Why'd you get me crying?
Well, and I was going to ask all kinds of other stuff because we do go back and there's so many things I could talk about, but I think this is a great place to end it because it is indeed your heart. Now, obviously there's great music from the Whisnants, but when I talk to people, they talk about the great music, but they always follow it up with the sincerity of the Whisnants. And I
Oh,
think
my
that speaks
word.
volumes of you and Jeff and the family. And I think that's probably a good place to end it, just with that
Well, thank you.
sincerity.
Well, I'll say this. I know who I am. I know what I am. I know what I would be minus Jesus, and it's nothing. And so I do stand. I'm sitting here talking to you today. We go way, way, way back. But had it not been for the grace of God, I wouldn't be here. And to think that he allows us to sing as a family and to try to take the message in song to people that are discouraged. And most of all, Robert, people that don't know Christ. That's the main thing. He's coming. I mean, you can look around. Jesus is coming. And so if we can tell people they need Jesus and he makes all the difference in the world, does it mean it's going to be perfect? No. But he says, I'll work all things for good. And even in this coronavirus and even in this stuff that's going on in our country, God's going to get glory out of it somehow, some way. He always does. So I love you, and I appreciate you doing this with me today. And I'm sorry I cried, but hey, I can't help
No,
it.
I'm not, and it reminds me of a song somebody once sang that said, "Even in the valley."
In the valley, God is good. Yes. Even in the valley, he's faithful and true. I can't do it. He carries his children through like he said he would. Even in the valley, God is good. Yes, he is.
Indeed. Susan Whisnant of the Whisnants, it has been great to talk with you. Thanks
You
so much for the
too.
great music, the ministry, and we look forward to you guys coming down to the Panhandle.
Oh, we can't wait. I love Florida, by the way, so I'm expecting you to get us there. Soon as that Rona gets out of the way, we're there.
All right, will do. Susan, great talking with you.
You too, my friend. Love you.
You too.